Trump hasn't even been sworn in yet. He's already getting results. Steve Madden announced it's halting manufacturing in China by half in a year. Putin says he's ready to work towards a peaceful solution in Ukraine. Iran's currency's fallen to an all-time low. And just yesterday, the stock market had its best day in 2 years. Don't believe me? Just check your 401k. And all the whiners at the Washington Post have to come back to the office 5 days a week.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen.
Even my favorite President Trump story. It's my number one favorite of all time. When we were negotiating with the Taliban, President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal, meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back as long as you abide by our rules. It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him! Yes. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
And walked out the room. Do you know for 18 months not a single American was killed?
Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
It hasn't even been a full week since Donald Jaquavius Trump got elected to be the president, and have you seen what's been happening around the world? Europe is on board. They're ready to purchase oil from the U.S. Mexico didn't want any smoke. They've been telling their own people to stop crossing the border because Trump threatened them with that 25% tariffs. Golly. The Taliban just called. They don't want to be on the U.S. terrorist list anymore. Whew. Russia. Putin said we not an enemy. And they decided to change their mind about ditching that blue Benjamin Franklin, baby. They gonna stick with the U.S. dollar in Russia. Oh, and the misogynist, sexist just appointed Susie Wiles the first woman chief of staff. And she gladly accepted it. My son RFK Jr. is on the FDA neck, talking about why we got 18 ingredients inside our kids' Fruit Loops. They about to get up out of here. China called, they want peace. We know about y'all buying all that farmland around our military bases. Y'all ain't low. Bitcoin, all-time high. Stock market, all-time highs. Mayor Adams said no more lunch money for the migrants. It's a wrap, even though it's a year program anyway. Probably was just coming to an end naturally, but still. Palestinian president ready to chop it up. Shit, Hamas want to end the war now. And for those who don't know about India, they run technology. They want to have a sit down. They covered Kamala's mural in Atlanta. Now, I know we're supposed to be focusing on women's abortion rights, but if you have a problem that the federal government is no longer involved, it's up to your state now, why don't you just move to another state? I'm gone.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people.
The country already looks different. New York City is saying no mas to free food for illegals. The caravans in Mexico are breaking up. Toyota is saying they're going to invest more in gas-powered cars. Europe wants to buy energy from the United States instead of Russia. Qatar is kicking Hamas out. The Dow hitting an all-time high. Jack Smith dropping his case. And Soros-funded DAs are packing their bags.
The president-elect named the first member of his White House staff. Susie Wiles, his trusted campaign manager, will become his chief of staff, the first woman to hold the position. That means she'll play a big role in Trump's plans to radically transform the federal government.
What is going on right now? China just announced that it hopes for a peaceful coexistence with the United States and that they respect the choice of the American people. Hold on, bro. So you telling me the second that Donald Trump gets elected, all of a sudden China want to send out good favors and good conversation, when it's really been like a Cold War between us, China, and Russia for like Biden's whole term for real? And in general, of course, but yo, it was really crazy during that time. And this is the thing that I be confused about. Now, I'm not a Republican and I don't support either party, but I think people should take note that the Democrats are very war hungry. They're very blood hungry. They are constantly at odds and at wars with the superpowers across the world, bro. The Democrats are just very good at making it sound good to you. But they be doing the same thing the Republicans do. They're just way more Machiavellian. There ain't no way you telling me the second Donald Trump gets elected, all of a sudden, the other superpower in the world wants to peacefully coexist. And if that isn't feedback for you for the way that Biden ran his term and Kamala aided him, I don't know what is, bro.
Our once great cities have become unlivable, unsanitary nightmares, surrendered to the homeless, the drug addicted, and the violent and dangerously deranged. We're making many suffer for the whims of a deeply unwell few, and they are unwell indeed. The homeless have no right to turn every park and sidewalk into a place for them to squat and do drugs. Americans should not have to step over piles of needles and waste as they walk down a street, a beautiful city, or at least once beautiful city, because they've changed so much over the last 10 years. Our first consideration should be the rights and safety of the hardworking, law-abiding citizens who make our society function. When I'm back in the White House, we will use every tool, lever, and authority to get the homeless off our streets. We want to take care of them, but they have to be off our streets. There is nothing compassionate about letting these individuals live in filth and squalor rather than getting them the help that they need. We need professionals to help them. For a small fraction of what we spend upon Ukraine, we could take care of every homeless veteran in America. Our veterans are being treated horribly. Likewise, with all of the money we will save by ending mass unskilled migration, we will have a huge dividend to address this crisis in our own country. Under my strategy, working with states, we will ban urban camping wherever possible. Violators of these bans will be arrested, but they will be given the option to accept treatment and services if they're willing to be rehabilitated. Many of them don't want that, but we'll give them the option. We will then open up large parcels of inexpensive land, bring in doctors, psychiatrists, social workers, and drug rehab specialists, and create 10 cities where the homeless can be relocated and their problems identified. But we'll open up our cities again, make them livable and make them beautiful. For those who are just temporarily down on their luck, we will work to help them quickly reintegrate into a normal life. For those who have addictions, substance abuse, and common mental health problems, we will get them into treatment. And for those who are severely mentally ill and deeply disturbed, we will bring them back to mental institutions where they belong, with the goal of reintegrating them back into society once they are well enough to manage. It's a tough task, a very tough task. What's taken place on the streets, what's taken place with their taking so much drugs. But the fact is, we're going to try. This strategy will be far better and also far less expensive than spending vast sums of taxpayer money to house the homeless in luxury hotels without addressing their underlying issues. And they have so many of these underlying issues and needs. This is how I will end the scourge of homelessness and make our cities clean and safe and beautiful once again. We will do it. We will bring back America. Thank you. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
After Trump became the U.S. president again, here are the 3 things he will do now immediately. Number 3, massive tax cuts. Trump is aiming to lower the top individual income tax rate from 37% to 33% and reducing the corporate tax rate even further, potentially below 20%. These reductions would generate economic activity worth billions, benefiting middle-income earners with estimated savings of $1,000 to $2,000 per household. Number 2, Trump would immediately restart building the U.S.-Mexico border wall, allocating billions of dollars to continue construction. He plans to deploy at least 20,000 additional federal agents to enhance border security. During his first term, federal spending on border enforcement reached $23 billion annually. Expect even more funding and stricter policies aiming to drive down illegal crossings. Number 1, tougher urban crime policies. Trump has proposed spending over $2 billion on federal programs to bolster law enforcement and public safety. He aims to offer financial support to police departments nationwide while also encouraging community policing initiatives. He would back increased funding for security measures, emphasizing the Second Amendment.
Where the Trump haters at? Y'all quiet. I don't even see the comments in the back. Stop hiding. Y'all was talking all that smack when you commies had Biden. Now Trump is your president. Say hello to your highness. It's a cold winter. Red wave digging deep like a gold digger.
4 days elected, not yet in office. Another 70-something days before he actually sets foot in office, but 4 days elected. And Russia has said, let's talk, give us a call. China, we're willing to talk. Hamas, we're done. Israel, we're done. Ukraine, we're finished playing this war game. 4 days. Because see, what people don't understand is that it is in the best interest of that administration to continue to keep these wars going on, because they are not only supporting, but they're invested in them, right? So wars make millionaires billionaires and billionaires trillionaires. And Trump doesn't have that interest. He doesn't want to make money off of innocent lives. He doesn't want that. So he came back in office and said, in 4 days, this needs to stop now. And everyone, all the children went back to their corners. Recess is over. This could have been done a long time ago. That's the sad thing about it. But again, war is an investment. But it's an investment that President Trump doesn't want any part of. 4 days. Fight me in the comments. Fight your mother. 4 days. And every single war is over.
Hey, man. Say, man. Donald Trump, you's a bad motherfucker, man. Huh? Donald Trump is the definition of an American gangster. This motherfucker, less than 24 hours. This man ended the war. Got on the phone with them motherfuckers like, look here now. I'm trying to make America great again. Y'all bullshitting. Alright, well, whatever the fuck they had going on, we ain't with it. It's a new day. Alright, bet. Type shit. You know, because Donald Trump got relationship with these foreign leaders and shit, man. You know, it ain't nothing but a conversation. Yeah, let's talk about this shit, because that's what gangsters do. You dig what I'm saying? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they couldn't have never did no shit like that. We fucking with a real boss right now, man. You know, Donald Trump has a militant mindset. You understand what I'm saying? This motherfucker is like, he a real general out this bitch. The head of state. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't cut off all the motherfucking benefits that them illegal immigrants was getting, because them motherfuckers was eating good. You know, caviar, shit like that. Motherfuckers was over here living good, getting up all the goddamn money. And y'all was okay with that shit. The Democratic, y'all motherfuckers was okay with that shit. They just bring these some bitches over here, give them all this money, put them up in fancy hotels. You know, $1,300, $10,000 in food stamps. What kind of shit is that? We've been over this motherfucker all our life. They ain't never gave us no shit like that.
So let me get this straight. You got women cutting off their hair and withholding their bodies from men, all because Trump got elected in office. Well, that man really doing his big one, because that's what we've been wanting y'all to do the whole entire time anyway, is to keep your legs closed. That way you don't have to be screaming about women's reproductive rights. Because guess what? You got the right to keep your legs closed. So congratulations. You passed the test. Thank Donald Trump later.
And you motherfuckers was okay with that shit. Huh? Cause you want Kamala Harris to be the motherfucking president. Bitches, you stupid. All you motherfuckers can talk about is an abortion? Really? That's what the fuck we here for? Bitch, let's get this motherfucking economy moving. You know, what the fuck we need to go to war for? We chilling. Everybody good. That's what we need in this world. We need peace. We need God. We need love. We need that type of shit. Ain't nobody fucking around with this whole LGBT and all this shit, bro. We don't give a fuck what people do. Look here. We ain't here to judge, you know. Everybody got their own lifestyle. Everybody got their own choices. Everybody do what the fuck they want to do. But when you're pushing it on the children, then motherfucker, you're wrong. You understand what I'm saying? But man, fuck all that shit, man. Look here. Trump is really standing on business, man. I put my trust in Trump. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this motherfucker don't play no games. You understand me? And all this deep state shit he keep talking about, all these crooked ass actors and pastors and all this shit, y'all motherfuckers finna be exposed. Yeah, and all the motherfuckers that tried to put Donald Trump in prison, all these false ass allegations, he coming for you. You know? And that's what they scared of. They hate Trump because Trump got that Trump on their ass. No diddy. But they gotta go. All these crooked ass motherfuckers just fucking up shit for everybody. You know?
But what I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college. I think you should get automatically, as part of your diploma, a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too.
Look here, man. It's time to make America great again. Everybody that voted for Donald Trump, man, you should be really proud of yourself, man. But one thing that these Democrats ain't gonna ever be able to say is they wasn't able to be a part of history. You know, you can't never say that you was a part of making America great again type shit. You understand what I'm saying? So we took part in that power, man. We all came together, man. Didn't matter what fucking race you was. It don't matter what the fuck you was from. Everybody agreed on one thing. We need to make America great. We need love in this motherfucking world. Because all the Democratic Party side do is divide motherfuckers. They keep us at war. Black Lives Matter. You know, them motherfuckers was on some bullshit too. You know? Black folks, let me say this shit before I get off this video, man. If y'all motherfuckers wanna do better, then you gotta stop killing each other. And you female rappers, stop shaking your ass and talking about your coochie. Bitch, don't nobody wanna hear that shit. Got kids in this motherfucker. You talking about some WAP. Bitch, you see what the fuck I'm saying? Black folks, it's time for us to come together. You know, every time you see a motherfucker walking up the street, you trying to size them up and shit. It's niggas against niggas. Fuck the racism shit. We gotta fix us. You understand me? But man, shit, man. Hey, look here, man. I gotta get the fuck up out of here early in the morning. I'm supposed to been making these videos, man, but this goddamn daylight saving time is fucking me up. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. But hey, man, like I say, man, Donald J. Trump has did everything he said he was gonna do. I ain't got nothing but love for Donald Trump. I'm gonna ride for Donald Trump, and that's just what it's gonna be, man. You understand me? I appreciate all my fans and all my followers, man. If y'all like shit like this, then tune in, man. Y'all already know Say Man gonna come with it, man. But hey, man, Say Man, say it with your chest, nigga.
Two things about Kamala this election. She's good at raising money and she's good at blowing it. But money can't buy you elections, especially when you spend it like she did. She raked in more than $1 billion and is somehow now in debt. The Washington Examiner dug through her financial statements and gave us a good clue why. Kamala's campaign was getting whacked like a piñata, while D.C. leeches hoovered up all the cash. She spent over $50 million on payroll. Trump's campaign spent less than 10. Another 12 million went to consultants, and 20 million went to their little concerts with Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Christina Aguilera, John Bon Jovi, remember him? They even had to cancel a performance by Alanis Morissette because they were running low on cash. Isn't that ironic? Campaign insiders are mad at the bosses for wasting donor money on concerts instead of ads about, you know, the economy.
Begin the 4 greatest years of the history of our country, right?
3 years from now, the United States will celebrate the biggest and most important milestone in our country's history. 250 years of American independence. What a great country. And we have to keep it that way. But that's why, as a nation, we should be preparing for a most spectacular birthday party. We want to make it the best of all time. Here is my plan to give America's founding in 1776 the incredible anniversary it truly deserves. On day 1, I will convene a White House task force called Salute to America 250. It will be responsible for coordinating with state and local governments to ensure not just one day of celebration, but an entire year of festivities across the nation, starting on Memorial Day 2025 and continuing through July 4th, 2026. Second, I will work with all 50 governors, Republican and Democrat alike, to create the Great American State Fair, a unique one-year exhibition featuring pavilions from all 50 states. It'll be something. The Great American State Fair will showcase the glory of every state in the Union, promote pride in our history, and put forth innovative visions for America's future. My hope is that the amazing people of Iowa will work with my administration to open up the legendary Iowa State Fairgrounds to host the Great American State Fair and welcome millions and millions of visitors from around the world to the heartland of America for this special one-time festival. Together we will build it and they will come. Third, alongside the Great American State Fair, we will host major sporting contests for high school athletes. These are great athletes, wonderful athletes from fantastic high schools all around the country. These Patriot Games will allow young Americans from every state to show off the best of American skills, sportsmanship, and competitive spirit. Fourth, I will sign an executive order to bring back our National Garden of American Heroes, which we want to build very badly, commission artists for the first 100 statues to populate this new statuary park honoring the greatest Americans of all time. Fifth, as president, I will invite the leaders and citizens of nations around the world to visit the United States in honor of our 250th anniversary. It's going to be great. America's tourist industry should get ready because we're going to have a lot of people coming. It will be a record year. And finally, and most importantly, I will ask America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and our people as we prepare for this momentous occasion. From the very beginning, America has been a country sustained and strengthened by prayer and by our communities of faith. As we chart a course toward the next 250 years, let us come together and rededicate ourselves as one nation under God. Thank you.
So Kamala Harris' campaign is in $20 million in the hole. This is after the campaign had raised over $1 billion. And y'all out here having all of these temper tantrums, cutting off your hair, no sex, no kids, no marriage for a woman that couldn't even manage her own campaign funds. Now just imagine if she would have been president and how she would have managed taxpayers' money. We saw how y'all was so proud in raising all of this money earlier this summer for her campaign, breaking records. Y'all were bragging about it all over the social media platforms, just for her to just squander it all away. I think we know where all of that money went. It was a lot of celebrities that came out and showed out for her for some money. They was getting paid. So apparently a lot of vendors haven't been paid just yet because they ain't got no money. And while there's a civil war that is erupting in the Democratic Party right now, they've been blaming one another for the loss of Kamala Harris. They've been blaming Biden, Pelosi. Obama pretty much is, got on a jet. Nobody knows where he's at. Hasn't said anything. These people still want their money to get paid. So instead, Trump tweets out how we ended our campaign with plenty of money, so we'll foot the bill of Kamala Harris' campaign. But y'all say he's a racist. So instead of y'all wasting all of y'all energy over here and doing all this crazy stuff, why don't y'all step in for the little guy, since y'all say that this is, the party of the working class people and the party of the little guy. That's what y'all say the Democrats are. And ask these celebrities that she has given all this money to perform for y'all or do a 4-minute speech for y'all, give the money back to the campaign so that they can pay the little guys. Why don't you do that? Go troll the celebrities. This is just crazy, But y'all keep on having your little temper tantrums and everything instead of focusing and looking at the real problems why people did not vote for her. And this was one of them. So deal with it. Trump is your president. All right, y'all have a good one.